Fink. Forecaster Isabella Fredrickson. And sports with Jenna Fink.
A coalition of Syrian rebels have toppled the government of President Bashar Al-Assad and captured the Syrian capital of Damascus. Assad was Syria's president for over 2 decades, and now Assad has fled to Russia. Tonight, NBC's Raf Sanchez has the dramatic pictures and more on the celebrations right now across Syria.
Tonight, scenes of triumph across Syria as rebel forces celebrate their stunning victory over the Assad regime. More than 50 years of dictatorship by one family ended in a 2-week lightning advance by rebel fighters. Tonight, those fighters shooting open the doors of regime prisons, freeing political prisoners, including women and children, while the marble halls of a tyrant's palace echo with the cries of ordinary people. But Syria's ousted President Bashar Al-Assad evading capture, fleeing to Moscow with his family, according to Russian state media. The uprising against him began peacefully in 2011 with calls for democracy, dignity, and reform, but mutated into a pitiless civil war after Assad turned his guns on his own people. For years, that bloody strategy seemed to work, but with his Russian backers bogged down in Ukraine and allies Iran and Hezbollah weakened fighting Israel, the rebel attack revealed a brittle regime that quickly collapsed. The rebels' main leader speaking tonight from a historic mosque in the capital, promising a government for all Syrians, regardless of sect. Some minority groups, though, frightened at how the Islamist fighters will govern. They were once part of Al-Qaeda and still considered a terrorist group by the U.S. But for much of Syria, hope.
Now I can understand that my children will not be raised under oppression.
Abdul Kafi Alhamdo and his family survived years of regime bombardment. This was the moment he saw his father for the first time in 2 decades, reunited after the front lines collapsed.
We're free, Syria! We're free people!
And that was Raf Sanchez reporting. President Biden spoke today from the White House. Biden called the falling of the Assad regime, quote, a moment of historic opportunity. The president spoke about the United States' quick military action in the region to try and prevent a resurgence from the terror group ISIS.
Yesterday, U.S. forces conducted dozens of precision strikes. We're clear-eyed about the fact that ISIS will try to take advantage of any vacuum. We will not let that happen.
And President Biden also committed to doing everything he can in his final weeks in office to secure the release of Austin Tice. Tice is an American journalist and Marine veteran kidnapped in Syria more than a decade ago.